What if movies were controlled by a king? Now, that could have happened if President William Howard Taft had not enacted the Sherman Antitrust Act to bust monopolies. Thomas Edison would have controlled movie making, making it impossible for filmmakers to flourish. But because of the monopoly bust, the big five movie studios were able to produce and develop all the classic movies that we love today. So Thomas Edison was based in New York City, and he tried to monopolize the producing, distribution, and exhibition of pictures by patenting all of his inventions. And what he tried to do is he created a company with 9 other film companies called the Motion Picture Patents Company. And the MPPC, what they ended up doing was they created this process to where any filmmaker had to go through them and get licensed to his patents in order to create, produce, distribute, or exhibit his films, and he would profit from it. So independent filmmakers rose up in defiance and started creating their own projects. But Thomas Edison would hire mobsters in the cartel to go down to film sets and rough up all the filmmakers to intimidate them, and so that they would go ahead and have to go through his patent company. Well, William Fox, Thomas Edison wanted William Fox to sell his company to him. William Fox said no and sued Edison in the Supreme Court, and that developed the Sherman Antitrust Act, and that is when President Taft went ahead and broke up the monopoly. So the Edison's MPPC was dissolved in 1915. Now, the independent movie studios, after they fought back, Carl Laemmle, who was a German-American, William Fox, who was from Hungary, they created their own production, distribution, and exhibition companies called vertical integration, which was basically the development of what they call the studio system. Now, William Fox went on to create Fox Film Corporation, and that later merged with Darryl Zanuck's 20th Century Pictures to create 20th Century Fox Studios in 1935. Carl Laemmle went on to create Universal Pictures, and that was created in 1912 and later expanded into Universal Studios that we know today. More filmmakers and independents followed suit. Aldous Zucker in 1912 created his own vertical production company called the Famous Players Company, and that became Paramount Pictures. And in 1915, after the Antitrust Act, every film company was out here making films. So Charles Chaplin, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, W.D. Griffith went on to create United Artists, later partnering with Darryl Zanuck, who went on to create 20th Century Pictures. They also developed the Motion Picture Television Fund that many artists rely on today. Columbia Pictures was formed in 1918. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer was formed, or MGM, in 1924. First National Studios was created in 1917 and was a producer exhibitor, and would later merge with Warner Brothers Pictures, which was founded in 1923. Now, Paramount Pictures, Paramount Studios, the first lot was in a rented horse barn in Hollywood on Selma and Vine, which is where the Equinox and the Trader Joe's is now, and it later moved to Melrose. William Fox's first lot was on the corner of Sunset and Western, which means Fox Studios lot, was over where the Food for Less used to be, but is now a building that's being developed, and which is across from Target. Universal City Studios was a 240-acre ranch in San Fernando Valley, and it opened in 1915, and it was called Universal City, and is now called Universal Studios Lot. It's pretty much in the same location. The first Warner Brothers lot was in Hollywood on Sunset, and it was on Sunset, but it moved to Burbank in 1926, where it is today. And MGM Studios was located in Culver City on Overland and Washington Boulevard. But in 1986, Sony Pictures took over MGM, and also Columbia Pictures, their first lot was on Sunset and Gower, but in 1990, they moved over to the Sony lot. So basically, in summary, if the Supreme Court and President Taft had not broken up the monopolies, we would not have any of the major studios that developed today. And so this is because independent filmmakers had an inner drive to fight against oppression and use their creativity to create films and develop the movie studios that have become iconic today. Thank you.